What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video, where today we're going to be doing another Manchester City transfer update. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming from June 1st for you guys to enjoy here on YouTube, where I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest Man City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links are in the description too if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. We fell just short of 700 likes on yesterday's transfer update, so we're going to have another pop at that. So 700 likes is the aim, guys. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to get your thoughts in the comments below. So before I do crack on with today's transfer update, go and have a watch of Khaldoon's interview, Man City's chairman, over on Man City's YouTube channel. He speaks for 26 minutes about Manchester City's season, about what the aims and objectives are for Manchester City heading into the new season and what they're looking for. Transfers were mentioned on there, which I found really interesting, including a little line mentioned about Man City pushing for quick deals in this summer transfer window. They've mentioned that City were going through their transitional phase that they probably should have done last summer, and Khaldoon has acknowledged that they weren't ruthless enough in last summer's transfer window, which is why they've been ruthless in the January transfer window, and they're looking towards trying to rejuvenate their squad and have a fresh, new-looking squad available for the Club World Cup, with a lot of emphasis put on how important the Club World Cup is to Manchester City. They see it as another trophy to be brought in by the club, but I think they're also looking at the Club World Cup and thinking about there's a heck of a lot of money to be made, and that will impact Man City's importance on this summer transfer window. So do go check it out. Really interesting words said by Man City's chairman, who just oozes confidence and charisma, and it just fills me full of confidence. Anyway, moving on, we've not got any contract news, so we've got a couple of stories to speak about in the outs. Starting off first with City youngster Max Alleyne. So he says that he wants to stay around the Manchester City academy. He wants to be making a pathway to the first team, and he doesn't want to head away from the club. He wants to stay at the City academy and fight for his place there, and try and fight to compete around the Man City first team squad. He says he's hoping to be given the opportunity to go to the Club World Cup to show the Manchester City fans and Pep Guardiola what he can do. This was done during an interview with the BBC ahead of the England under-21 European Championships. I think that is coming up for the England under-21 side. So that is what he's hoping for to achieve, to go to the Club World Cup. He's of course a 19-year-old homegrown English centre-back, and the same can be said about Jahmai Simpson-Pusey, and he said that he's looking for more regular first-team football. He feels like he's got nothing left to achieve when it comes to academy football. He wants to be around the City first-team squad and competing there, but if that cannot happen, he doesn't want to spend another season around the City academy, and he would be actively looking this summer for clarity about his future and whether he wants to pursue a move away from Manchester City, whether that be on a season-long loan or if he'd be seeking a permanent move away from the club. Again, Simpson-Pusey is a 19-year-old homegrown English centre-back with Manchester City, so the clarity of two young players needed for Man City in the coming weeks. Now, moving on to the ins, I've got a quick line on Rodrygo from Real Madrid, the 24-year-old Brazilian attacker. Now, Graeme Bailey has said that whilst Manchester City are holding an interest, it's Arsenal from the Premier League that are pushing the most to try and sign Rodrygo, but they are currently struggling to make that signing happen, as they're struggling with the finances of that transfer, including how expensive the transfer fee would be, but also struggling with how expensive the wage would be, as he'd go right to the very top of Arsenal's wage structure. So Arsenal struggling to make a Rodrygo signing happen. It isn't ruled out that Rodrygo would stay at Real Madrid. I mean, he could pursue a big money move to Saudi Arabia. We've seen lots of other Brazilian players heading to Saudi Arabia. I'm expecting Ederson to be the latest player to be heading to Saudi Arabia. In fact, I'm fairly sure when it comes to football in Saudi Arabia, when it comes to foreign nationals going to Saudi Arabia, I'm fairly sure the top nationality of players playing there is Brazilian. So yeah, we've seen Vinny Jr. be linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Rodrygo is another name that does get pulled out in potentially going to Saudi Arabia as well. What I can't picture, and I'm struggling with this, is to picture him in the Premier League. I'm struggling to picture him in Sky Blue at Manchester City as well. As much as he makes very kind comments and nice comments about Man City and flirts with Manchester City, I can't picture it. I don't know why. I can't picture it. Some of you guys, I'm sure, can, because you're always asking for the updates, but I don't know what it is, but I just feel like this transfer is just a non-starter. It's not going to happen, and I'm struggling to picture the transfer happening and how the transfer would look and how it would happen. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We've got the latest on Tijjani Reijnders, the 26-year-old Dutch central midfielder at AC Milan. Now, Mercato in Italy have said that more positive talks have taken place this week between Manchester City and AC Milan. Manchester City are getting ever closer to having a full agreement with Reijnders and his camp over personal terms. Man City also believed to be making some progress on negotiating that fee with AC Milan, which to me is the big hurdle here in terms of this transfer. Apparently agreements aren't far away, or days apart apparently. Manchester City are wanting to turn their focus in the next week or two towards trying to bring in Rayan Cherki of Lyon instead, as that's Man City's ideal number 10 signing, with Reijnders being earmarked as Man City's key number 8 signing in terms of their rejuvenation of their midfield. Now, Sacha Tavolieri said that Manchester City have already made 2 bids for Tijjani Reijnders, which are currently being negotiated. These does mean they've not been accepted, but it does mean that these bids also haven't been rejected, as well, as we're looking for them agreements to go in place. So Manchester City and AC Milan negotiating in terms of this transfer. Now, Manchester City are hoping that third time lucky when it comes to a potential successful bid for Tijjani Reijnders, with AC Milan currently asking for around 65 million euros. We're looking at £54.41 million in today's currency exchange rate. Now, Manchester City want this sorting in the coming days, where Sacha Tavolieri has said that these next few days are crucial when it comes to this transfer. Man City wanting to get a speed with this transfer. They want this sorting probably ASAP. I imagine City want all the agreements and everything in place over probably the next 48 to 72 hours, ready for Tijjani Reijnders early next week, hopefully, to become a Man City player, so he can focus for the rest of the time on international duty with the Netherlands, and then he can come back to Manchester City ready for the Club World Cup. We do have a little bit of grace, 10 days grace, remember, from June 1st to June 10th, where only Man City and Chelsea have the transfer window open to themselves ahead of the Club World Cup when it comes to the transfer window over here in England. Now, moving on to the final transfer, we've got the latest on Rayan Cherki, the 21-year-old French attacking midfielder and winger from Olympique Lyonnais in France. He has a release clause believed to be around 20 to 25 million pounds, and Fabrizio Romano has given an update on Cherki today. He says that Cherki is well aware of interest coming in from Manchester City. City have already made first contact with both Cherki's camp, so his entourage and the player, to look at personal terms. They'll be asking the player about how much is he looking for, what length of contract is he looking for, what bonuses are going to be included, what agent fees are we looking at, etc, etc. And they've also made contact with Lyon about potentially trying to bring in Rayan Cherki ASAP, as there is a release clause and a fairly cheap deal this for Manchester City. I can't imagine City will be negotiating on this transfer. It'd be a straight release the clause and bring Rayan Cherki in ASAP, if that is what Man City's avenue that they want from a number 10 potentially being brought in. Of course, we're looking at Rayan Cherki because we were unsuccessful in our push to try and bring in Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. So Manchester City now, Bayer Leverkusen and Florian Wirtz, very much a thing of the past, and what we're focusing on now is negotiations with Olympique Lyonnais and of course getting them agreements in place with Rayan Cherki. And I'll be honest, it looks like quite a straightforward transfer, almost too straightforward. The only complications I have from this is the player keen on a move? I'm still waiting for clarification on that, and if so, is he prepared to reject everybody else to make sure a transfer to Manchester City does happen, which is I think why Man City are wanting to get a bit of a wriggle on, want to get things sorted at speed very quickly, because they want to try and beat the competition before the competition can move. quite crucial that the transfer window opens for Man City before everybody else in the Premier League other than Chelsea. So I'm not aware that Chelsea are currently taking Rayan Cherki very seriously, but they're the only other club that could compete. And I imagine in the space of them 10 days from June 1st to June 10th that Man City will be looking to try and tie down 2 or 3 players ready ahead of the Club World Cup. We can also bring players in during the Club World Cup in what I'm expecting to be a really busy summer transfer window. And going off what Khaldoon said, I'm expecting that Man City are probably going to bring in maybe 2 or 3 players in the coming 2 or 3 weeks, and very doable, as we showed in the January transfer window. As long as you work hard and you negotiate hard, you can make transfers happen, in particular with players that you've already held a long interest in. And you know, these players are not new names to us before. They are players that City have been linked with, albeit quite quiet, but Man City have already done their scouting and information, and they'll have had information on Reijnders and Cherki for a long time, so they obviously feel like these 2 players are the right players when it comes to filling the void of a number 8 and a number 10 in the City midfield, and that's the avenue that we're going down. So very soon we could be seeing City splashing the cash. Very exciting. So I am going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news from June 1st for you guys to enjoy. Throughout the rest of this week, we've got loads of transfer content as well for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. We're aiming now for 44,000 subscribers. We're less than 500 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. It's not out of the equation that we could maybe, if we have a big push towards the end of this week, hit that by the time the transfer window opens on June 1st and we go with our daily Manchester City transfer update. So let's go ambitious. Let's push for them 44,000 subscribers, less than 500 subs away. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. Let's see if we can hit 700 likes in today's transfer update. It'd be brilliant if we could. Fell just short. I think it was 70 likes short in the last one, so let's see if we can hit it in today's transfer update. That would be absolutely fantastic. And also don't forget, most importantly as well, get your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Tijjani Reijnders, Rayan Cherki, what are you thinking? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next City transfer video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.